Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving right into the absolutely triumphant return of NASA's Artemis II spacecraft. We're going to unpack the whole journey, look at exactly how the ship held up upon re-entry, and figure out what this massive win means for all of us and the future of human space exploration. Let's get into it. Now, to really wrap our heads around the scale of this mission, we've got to talk about this number right here, 50. Guys, it has literally been over half a century since humanity last embarked on a trip to the moon and back. I mean, think about that. This isn't just another routine launch we're talking about. This is the historic bridge connecting the old Apollo days directly to our modern age of spaceflight. So let's jump right into Section 1, a historic lunar return. The spacecraft, which the crew aptly named Integrity, by the way, came out of the gate breaking records. It pushed the boundaries by traveling farther out into deep space than any crewed mission in human history. Seriously, further than anyone ever. This was our ultimate stress test to see if modern tech could actually handle the harsh, unforgiving realities of deep space. Moving right along to Section 2, the Journey of Integrity. So how did she get home? Well, the return journey kicked off on April 10th with a splashdown right in the Pacific Ocean, capping off a wild 10-day spaceflight. But from there, this record-breaking spacecraft took a surprisingly normal road trip. They loaded it onto a flatbed truck for a cross-country drive from San Diego all the way back to Cape Canaveral. It's kind of funny when you think about it. You travel further into the cosmic void than any human being ever has, only to ride a truck down the highway to finally park back at the Kennedy Space Center. All right, so now that Integrity is safely parked back in Florida, NASA's engineers are essentially popping the hood. They're doing a deep dive. They're paying incredibly close attention to the heat shield, which, remember, had to survive a literal fiery reentry, along with meticulously checking out the vital electronic systems and all the research equipment. Every single check here is absolutely crucial. They need to know exactly what held up perfectly, what needs fixing, and what parts can actually be reused for future flights. And the good news? NASA officials confirmed that the deep space systems performed brilliantly. It proved our engineering is rock solid. But, space travel is still space travel, and it definitely has its quirks. They actually reported a small, highly relatable hiccup with the onboard toilet. So yeah, it just goes to show, even when you are breaking historic human records in deep space, you still got to deal with everyday plumbing issues. Let's shift gears a bit. Section 3, the Artemis II crew. Because a mission is really only as strong as its team, right? This phenomenal crew was expertly led by Commander Reed Wiseman, with pilot Victor Glover sitting right there beside him. Handling the heavy lifting for the scientific and operational goals was mission specialist Christina Cook, and rounding out this amazing international team, we had Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen. Honestly, you are looking at the new faces of lunar exploration. Now, as you can probably guess, returning from such an intense, high-stakes environment takes some serious readjusting. After going through all their rigorous medical checks, the crew is finally getting some well-deserved rest. Actually, Commander Wiseman shared a really personal moment online. He said he felt a deep sense of peace while finally relaxing after the mission. I mean, you can only imagine the sheer adrenaline of the last month finally fading away for these guys. Which brings us to our final part. Section 4. Next stop, Artemis II. So what does this all mean, and how does it build toward our ultimate goal? Well, Artemis II was all about testing the absolute limits of the Integrity capsule out in deep space. Artemis III, though, that's a whole different ballgame. It's going to feature a brand new capsule and a totally different crew. And instead of a direct flyby of the moon, they'll be pivoting to practice some incredibly complex, critical docking maneuvers right here in Earth's orbit. And they'll be doing this with lunar landers developed by private companies. All of these steps connect right back to one absolutely crucial target year, 2028. You see, Artemis II proved that we can get out there and back safely. Artemis III is going to prove we can successfully dock with the landers we actually need to get down to the surface. If those orbital tests go according to plan, they firmly pave the way for NASA's actual moon landing mission. That means boots back on the lunar dust, targeted for as early as 2028. We are quite literally watching the foundation of the next century of space travel being laid down right in front of us. So, as we celebrate the safe return of the Integrity capsule and her incredibly brave crew, I want to leave you with this thought. With an actual lunar landing just on the horizon in 2028, how far do you think the future of human deep space travel will take us next? Are we talking Mars? Or maybe somewhere even further? Think about it.